Hello, my name is Martin Hollinetz. I'm the head at the moment from the OTELO network. The OTELO network itself is founded 2010 here in the Lake District. You see on this picture, on this first picture, this is the Traunsee, and this is based in the Salzkammergut, Upper Austria. And from my background, I worked at the Regional Development Agency from 2007 to 2011. And my role in that time was to ask young people, but also people, they left the countryside. And we had at this time a project on demographic change. What they really need to stay in the region and to find a place where they can do what they really want. And at this time, we also had contact with a social philosopher. His name is Fridtjof Bergman. And we had also discussions about the idea of new work and new culture. And so we started a kind of group together with around 20 persons in the region to define new concepts, how to build, so to say, community hubs, places where people come together, develop new things, think about climate change, demographic change, new economy, and also in the field of agriculture, for example. OTELO means Open Technology Labs, and that came from the beginning of the OTELO network, where we went to the big cities and get connected to different groups like maker labs, like open workshops systems, like repair cafes, repair structures. Or hack spaces, for example, and we realized this kind of models fits very well in the big city where you have a lot of members and a lot of people around. But we also realized it's not possible to bring this like a hack space into a local village, because you don't have enough members to build up a structure. And so we thought we need a kind of model that we can bring together the people, open up for different ideas, and also create a kind of format where the local municipality is really involved, because they enable a space for the broader public. And I think that is really necessary for local villages, that you are much more open to people, and also very open to invite new ideas, because otherwise you cannot you don't have this amount of people that you can drive like only a computer-based technological project. And now we see, after 10 years, so all OTELO locations they started are already ongoing projects. So we realized if we create this in that way, that it's a long-term strategy. It's not only a project where you solve one specific problem. So it's a long-term strategy to connect with the civil society and create ongoing new ideas and a kind of culture of innovation. The focus was how to bring rural areas in this context of big city, give them a new kind of space, place, and find out what is the really base, what kind of base we need, that a region or the countryside itself is a place where people really would like to live, and also to bring their knowledge into a process where regional development is a personal need for the citizens. And What we thought, we need spaces where uh, things, new ideas, things can be enabled, not to force things, but to create a kind of space where the things are possible. After 10 years, OTELO, at the moment we have 37 locations around Austria and also Germany, Italy, and now very new in Vietnam, but also in contact like in Spain and other countries. We have groups and also projects running at the moment where we think about this idea of local community hubs. What can it be? What kind of labs we need? What kind of structures we need? So it's at the moment, and also after this pandemic time, it's a new idea how to bring civil society together to face problems that we have in the next few years to solve. It's more change the mindset of the people, that the people realize if we make things together and if we bring our ideas together and have a place where we can try out, where we can test things. So maybe we have the energy to go next steps. The next steps, normally you need kind of technology centers or investors or other structures. OTELO is made mainly for the basement, mainly for the humus. If you think on a greenhouse, you need a very good humus to build to plant something. So and in this idea, we thought we can start the process in a region. Normally projects are based on one kind of specific systems. For example, if you think, if you start a new project, it's based on education system, so you have to do something for this system. And we thought if we create a space between that not depends or get funding or something else from one of these surrounding systems, that we are free enough to create really new things. But in the other hand, we thought, okay, but who is the owner of this system or of this model or of this space at all? And so we realized we need a kind of democratic process in a community, in a village, and they have to do a decision in the local municipality that they really want this kind of free space. And that is for public, and it's not the goal to solve specific problems of one of the systems. No, it has to be free as an innovation space for all people and all new kind of things. And at the beginning, we thought about how to create, if you create a kind of network on voluntary level, you have to focus on the theme of hosting a kind of space. And so we thought a lot about what do we really need to host a space. And so we created kind of local teams. We called this team the Magic 5 hosting teams. And these teams had 5 specific roles to manage and to develop the space. So what we do if you start an OTELO is that at the moment, at the beginning, we look at people. They are already make something special in the local village or in the region, and invite these people to share their ideas with others. And this creates a kind of community education program. And after 2 years, normally it's a self-running system. So people, they would like to try out a new to tell new ideas or try out a new kind of workshop concept, whatever. Use OTELO as a test platform. Are there other interested persons in that, and so on, and bring people together. And every OTELO have a second stage in that. If people are inspired and think, now we would like to go a next step, we would like to try out and do some research and or go a little bit more deeper into a new idea or theme, they can create kind of nodes, and nodes are a kind of is a group in a OTELO. They will get a room there, and so they can create their own lab, and they can come to OTELO all the time. So they have a key, they have access around the clock, and they can have meetings, create their own space there. But the only rule is what they develop has to be shared to the community. And they also are part of the community education program so far, but they also share their ideas now with other OTELO locations or other groups around, because we have a lot of initiatives. They are really are connected to the OTELO principles. And so the OTELO network is one thing, but the bigger network is much more powerful if you bring the people together. And what we also realized, if we start this resources theme, so to bring local resources together, we realized if we get in contact to companies, partners, other associations, and only to ask them, if we need something, what could you provide to the network? That's create a kind of pro bono field for us, that we have a clear idea what kind of resources do we have if we need resources. The next thing in the structure of an OTELO is the role for funding members. And the funding members can give a little bit money, for example, or also support for groups. But mainly we have a structure where funding members give, for example, 33 euros a year to support the basic structure of an OTELO. And the fifth role, that's one of the most important roles right now, is to bring the ideas and new formats and also sometimes resources to transfer this to the international network and to connect with other structures and to see what is possible to create in a way that it scale up. For example, the repair cafes. That was one of the first things that we really scaled to all other OTELO locations. And normally OTELO space have a size between 150 to 1,500 square meters. That's quite big. And we see it depends a little bit on the local community and the local municipality, what the needs are really, what's really necessary to face on local ideas, to bring different groups together and have space for enough nodes that the labs can start. And so this is the basic structure. And OTELO normally starts only if at the beginning we have this Magic 5 team, this 5 people, they really are interested in create this kind of field for the local people. And the local municipality have to give the rooms for free, at least for 3 years. That are the basic principles. We have every year once a network meeting where all the OTELO locations come together and to discuss new ideas and also how we host OTELOs. We also provide, for example, young kids, like this girl here, you see, she really loves create dragons, for example, but we ask her what would the best way how to if you like to share your ideas and your knowledge with others. And she said, she was 11 years old, she said, oh, only 4 adults, no kids because they are noisy, but if you like, I can do a workshop. And so OTELO provides also, because we don't need finance from outside, the space is available, and we can share things if we like. So we also ask people they really would share things with others, to create the kind of space and possibilities that they feel really safe. And I think that was one of the most important things at the beginning, that the OTELOs are a safe space for sharing. And so we create crazy things sometimes, in the mixture of technique, in 3D printing, for example, that you see some pictures how we work, like workshops, and the workshops are going in really different fields, from social science to agriculture, to new technologies, to ideas about work. So I think this is necessary, because we think that if we create this kind of space in this open way, people meet they otherwise never meet in a normal way. And so I think that was one of the differences to other projects, that we are really open to really new things in any field, and not specific based on technology, agriculture, or something like this. And so we created this kind of international network of innovation culture. And so we're in contact in new research projects. And this is a link where we created later a kind of cooperative where the local OTELOs can bring ideas, and we see the cooperative that we founded 2014 as a kind of greenhouse for ideas. So if the humus is ready, you need also a kind of greenhouse where you create ideas on the next level. And at the moment, the OTELO grows, the OTELO network grows, but also the OTELO cooperative grows with his members, and are in the moment we are very active in the educational system. We are very active in the field of co-working, and we're also active in the field of climate change at the moment, create new formats, processes, and things, and always connected with European projects, universities all over Europe, but also international in networks kind of Ashoka and other networks too. OTELOs are normally associations and based on voluntary work, but we saw the last years that if ideas are developed, sometimes we need also scaling structures, or structures where you can go much deeper, and sometimes we had the chance to create projects and got money. How to bring money into the OTELO system was without killing the voluntary structure. And so we thought in the beginning of 2011 and 12, we thought about how to create new kind of working models and structures. So we had these discussions with Fridtjof Bergman to create new work, new culture structures based on a regional level. And so we started together, not only with Fridtjof Bergman, also Gerald Hütter, for example, was involved. And so we started to develop a new kind of company structure based on the model of cooperatives and also sociocracy, to bring people together and enable a kind of self-employment network, to use entrepreneurial idea, but use a cooperative as a basement where you can pay your own salary and develop your project, but you have to bring in enough money that you can pay yourself and develop the project. And we realized single entrepreneurs are always under pressure. And we also realized if we can create a kind of structure with more security and more development possibilities, that could be a really good boost for new ideas in the region. And so we started with some people at the beginning, all focus on 3 main topics: on the political system, media system, and education, because we had a lot of projects idea on that field. And then we formed the cooperative, where we wanted to create the balance between affiliation and be able to grow. So, and found out for us that we need this cooperative structure, and the organization model using sociocracy fits best for this idea. And so we also done a research on that, and so how to bring together social mission, participatory governance, and entrepreneurial thinking in a good balance. And that was the idea at the beginning. And then we started together with 18 people to start the cooperative. And now, after 6 years, we have 23 cooperative members. They develop not only small projects, now we work on really bigger scale projects. For example, an ITM project with 15 PhD students around Europe, facing on co-working spaces in rural areas, for example. And without this kind of structure, we never could participate in this kind of project, but the cooperative made it possible that we also work on that and bring new resources into the region, but also bring our knowledge into the discussion in the field of universities and research, and also with in cooperation with bigger companies. My role in OTELO, I see very clear to try out new formats to bring people together and to create new things. So we have this space where we can do this, and I think if we really would like to face the problems that we have to manage in the future and to find new solutions, we need the civil society in a good way to bring in, and that the people feel engaged to be part of the solutions in the future. And so we need new kind of formats, how to bring people together. And I think OTELO is one model now. We know how it works, basically on the regional level, because we don't have any OTELO in a bigger city, for example. It's based on regional development, and so we see our role very clear to engage the people. They live in the countryside, but also connect them to ideas they are international relevant. I hope it was a really good first view to the OTELO network, and thank you very much.